Welcome to the 7th edition of What Matters. What Matters is curated by SignDesk. It's an event where we would like to bring eminent speakers like you, people who are very successful in their own field, and help us in terms of understanding largely the three areas, which is collaboration, innovation, and culture. What we are trying to kind of understand is that the young crowd can essentially understand these basics, because we believe that these fundamentals never change. We would like to kind of hear from you that how these parameters help you in terms of building career, what you've built today, and how the young generation can take the advantage of that. That's the entire idea behind What Matters. To start with, can you quickly tell us about your journey?
All right, so let me ask you a few questions. How many of you have failed in 4th standard? I have. How many of you failed in your 7th standard and had to repeat 7th? How many of you failed in 7th? I failed in 7th and repeated 7th. How many of you failed in 11th? How many of you had to repeat a year in graduation? So that's been my journey, guys. Okay? Believe me, I have been a serial failure. And because I've been a serial failure, I know the joy of winning. My journey starts in 1981, 20 years. So for 20 years, I was an abject failure in life. I used to fail and 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 I used to fail. In 1981, there were 3 people who changed my life. The first was my late father. He's my guru in many, many ways. Someone who believed in me and someone who always told me that I am not doing justice to my talent. So that was one. The second was a very, very dear professor. And I was doing my master's in Bombay. I was doing it in a very difficult subject called econometrics. 1980-82, very, very tough subject. And he believed in me. And he repeatedly called me one day and he said, you're wasting your time. You've got fantastic talent. You can do it. And the third, all you guys here will kind of resonate with what I'm saying, was a young lady, young girl, who also told me the same thing. And her motivation was very simple, that if you actually study and you do well in academics, then I will seriously consider being with you for the rest of our life. I'm married to her today. It's been 44 years. And she was the one, drove me. And, from a guy who never went to the library, I actually landed up at the library every day from 8 o'clock to 8 o'clock. I studied hard. I really burnt the midnight oil because I had to prove to myself a point, that I am not what the world is saying I am. The world is saying I'm a failure. The world is saying I'm no good. The world is saying I'm useless. I had to prove to myself that I am neither a failure, I am not a no good, and I will do something with my life. In 1981 is where my journey starts. And that year, I managed to score in the final MA 68%. Okay, and it was a record that stood in the Bombay University for about 15 years. And overall, I managed to get a first class. And it was the first and the last time I ever got a first class in my life. But that changed my life completely. Why am I telling you this, guys? All of you young people who are here, I want to tell you something. It doesn't matter where you have come from. It doesn't matter the background that you've come from. It doesn't matter what scores you've got in life. What matters is where you want to go. And if you make up your mind on where you want to go, then you will get there. My life is a complete, my entire journey, Ashok, is exactly that. From 1981 till now, which is about 42, 43 years, I have planned every single move in my career. And I've gone and I've done it. So today when I'm saying born to win, I'm indeed born to win.
Second question is, from a typical creating ad, how did you move towards becoming a training professional?
Let me just tell you a little bit of some of the ads that I've done in my life. I'm sure you young people will like that. Have you guys seen the Santoor soaps ad? Mummy? You remember there was an ad for a product called Sundrop cooking oil with the boy cartwheeling and the puri following him? ICCHA Bank, we launched. Okay, whenever I say I mean it is me and my team. It's never an individual effort. Let me clarify that quickly. So many of the products. Have you heard of Hero Honda?
Yes.
That was something that I had the privilege of working along with. So millions and millions of ads. So when I was in advertising, I realized something very important. And I was in Bombay, and we had 8 offices. I was the president of the company. I was one of the youngest presidents. And I realized that the way India is changing, okay? Everything in India is changing very quickly. And the opportunities that you people have today are opportunities that we didn't have when we were young, when we were your age. I think 24, I was heading a department in advertising. When I was 26, I was a branch manager. When I was 32, I became the president of a company. So I'm one of those crazy guys. Once you decide you want to do something, you go do it. It's like that kind of guy. But I realized that somewhere my heart lay in getting people to change their mindsets. One of the things that happened to me, and this is interesting, is that I moved from Hyderabad to Bombay. I was in Hyderabad very briefly, and I moved from Hyderabad to Bombay. From a hero in Hyderabad, I became a zero in Bombay. And I was wondering, how should I reinvent myself in Bombay? Very difficult, when you're a hero and then you fall down and you become a zero. Very, very difficult to reinvent your life. And at that time, the Bhagavat Gita helped me a lot. And I started reading the Bhagavat Gita every day. And I started using those principles on my day-to-day. And the company that I was working in, we grew it to become the largest in the country. Company got acquired. I didn't have a job, and therefore I was wondering what to do. I was always fascinated by this business of helping individuals become successful. That was something that I was always fascinated about. So I said, is it possible for us to take some of those timeless principles of the Bhagavat Gita, incorporate it into a very, very modern, cutting-edge, relevant process? And that's how Born to Win happened. And in 21 years, as Narahari mentioned, today we must have helped more than, 150,000 people like you across the country, across the world actually, benefit from those teachings. So yes, it was interesting. But as I keep saying, I kind of got bored of telling people on one day to buy a blue soap, and then telling them the next day to buy a green soap, and then the third day to buy a yellow soap, and then the fourth day to come back to the blue soap. I said, enough is enough. Let's do something with my life which I'm going to enjoy. And that's how Born to Win happened.
Do you think all of us are born to win?
Absolutely.
Why do you think so?
You see, let me tell you something interesting. With each of you people who are sitting here in this room today, the potential that you have is unbelievable. In the last my career started in 1980 when I started. I was actually selling vegetables because my dad cut off my allowance. I had no option but to work, and I didn't want to do teaching and all that, so I started with selling vegetables. So in the last 44 years, let me tell you one thing. I have seen so many young people like you who are there in this room. If you set your mind on getting this inner strength within you to come to the fore, you become unstoppable in this world. Unstoppable. There is only one person who's holding you back, and that is yourself. We're all caught in a particular trap. The trap that we are caught in is we're trying to be what we think the world wants us to be. Okay? I think the world wants me to be dashing. I think the world wants me to be charming. I think the world wants me to be aggressive, etc., etc., etc. Or we're caught in another trap, which is this is what I want the world to think of me. I want the world to think of me that I'm charming, I'm dashing, I'm this, I'm aggressive, I'm etc., etc., etc. If you forget the world and you just become somebody who is the real you, just spend a little time, contemplate. There is a weekend coming on this Saturday, Sunday. Each of you just spend some time. What do I love doing? What do I love doing? And you will find answers. Because there is so much of potential within you, it's unbelievable. How can I say this? In the corporate world, there are more than 150 to 1,000 people who benefited from this Born to Win program. We do this program in government schools for 8th standard, 9th standard, 10th standard children. It's called Aham Brahmasmi. We must have helped in the last 20 years at least 3.5, 4 lakh children. In Karnataka, now in Andhra, in Coimbatore, in Kerala. And it's stunning, the potential that we have. You just have to believe in yourself.
Any particular story you want to talk about it where you have seen and you have put them in this kind of a training program and you've seen over a period of time exceptionally well?
Oh, so many years. I'll tell you one particular story which I'm very fond of. I had a colleague working with me. So when this guy was one day going from Bangalore to Mysore with his new wife, there was some accident on the way and he managed to, hit somebody and big confusion that was going on there. So he called me in the morning, early morning on a Sunday and said, these guys want to kill me. Can you please come and rescue me? Because I don't even know Kannada. I can't talk. I can't save myself. Can you please come? So anyway, I went to near Kengeri to save this guy. Went, took care of the person who was under accident, gave him all the medical care, attention, etc., etc. He'd broken one leg. So we took all that, we do whatever is right. And then the crowd that was with him, with the unfortunate victim, they were demanding 2 lakhs. So I said, why 2 lakhs? Anyway, I've taken care of him. I'm taking care of his treatment. I've spoken to his office. We knew the HR guy. All of that was going. So why 2 lakhs? So we negotiate. I don't know how many of you guys have been through this situation in life. Brought it down to 20,000. So I said, chalo boss, 20,000. I said, okay, okay, 20,000 rupees. Doesn't matter. I knew not one naya paisa will go to the victim. I know that. So then anyway, by which time, about 2 or 3 hours later, that person's wife and a young man who must have been 23, 24, very much like one of you guys, they both came. And there was this furious consultation between the mother and that young boy. And the lady comes and says, don't pay them anything. I said, God, now renegotiation again, 2 lakhs to 20,000. Now this lady has come, so that means again I have to start this Ram Kahani again. So then that young man said, sir, you don't recognize me. I said, no, yeah, who are you? He said, sir, I'm Abdul. I said, okay, very good, Abdul. Nice to meet you. Who are you? He said, I'm so-and-so's son. I said, all right. He said, sir, you forgot, you came to Ramnagaram and you did I Am a Winner program. I said, yes, I remember I came to Ramnagaram about 8 or 9 years ago and did I Am a Winner program. Sir, you remember you came to me and told me, when you asked me what is your dream, and I said I have to become a mechanic. I said, sure, but you can become the best mechanic in the world. And then I told you, actually, I want to be an engineer. And then you helped me write that whole thing as to why I should be an engineer. So I went home and I told my father and mother, the same person who's in the hospital now. And they both said, okay, fine, you study. So he got a good grade in 10th. Then he got a scholarship and did his 12th. Then he got through CET. And he did his engineering in Gaussiya Engineering College, Ramnagaram. And then he got a job in Wipro. And the mother was telling me, sir, you are the one who has changed our life. How can we take a madness from you? So here is a young man in rural Ramnagaram, wants to become a mechanic. I mean, his whole family is pushing him to become a mechanic. And here is a guy who believed in himself and said, well, I'm going to study, I'm going to do it, I will become this. Okay? Like this, I'm telling you today when I'm saying this, whenever I catch a flight in the airport, in whichever part of the country I am, there'll be so many people who will come up and say, sir, you remember me? I say, boss, who are you here? Sir, I'm Winner Ravi. Oh, Winner. Then I know, you've done this exercise with me. What are you doing now? Sir, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this.
How do you think collaboration is important, or what kind of an impact it does when you work with people? Does it really, collaboration matters a lot?
One of the things that we all have to remember is this. There is an old acronym for team, TEAM. It's an old acronym. It says, together each achieves more. Right? It's an old acronym. Let me tell you about collaboration. If you were to collaborate with each other, now collaboration is sometimes difficult. And I'll tell you why it is difficult. You can't take responsibility for the other person. Right? So supposing you want to collaborate with me. I may be a little painful fellow. I may be a stupid fellow. I may be one, I may be an irresponsible fellow. So many things I am. Correct? So you don't like me. And therefore you don't want to collaborate with me. Right? Now we need to understand that liking someone is different from collaborating with someone. If you like someone, then you will perhaps go to the pub with that person and have a beer with him this evening. That's like. If you like someone, then perhaps you will have lunch with that person. That's like. Collaboration is not about liking or disliking someone. Collaboration is how can you use your strengths, how can you use my strengths. And together we combine these two strengths to make sure that the objective of that particular job or that particular task is completed faster. Collaboration is the only way to do more, to do faster, to do better. Collaboration has got nothing to do with whether you like someone or you don't like someone. Collaboration has got nothing to do with, is this person North Indian, is this person South Indian, is it a boy, is it a girl, is it an engineer, a diploma? None of this rubbish matters. Collaboration is simple. I have some strengths, you have some strengths. Can we use both our strengths to accomplish more, faster, better? That's the whole point of collaboration.
What excites you the most about people?
The unbounded potential that each of you have is fantastic. I really am in love. I must tell you, young people, this. I completely envy you guys. Yeah. Sometimes, when I look at myself in the mirror, I say, God, how did I become this 63-year-old fellow here? How can I go back to being 26 or 27 or 28? Look at the energy of these young people. It's fantastic. So, I just love the fact that they have a whole life left ahead of them. I just love the fact that you guys can change the world. And you're changing the world, no? Every day, your products are changing the world. And therefore, I love the fact that you can work on becoming better and better and better versions of yourself. I love that fact. I'm fascinated by that.
When you look at people, I get it what you're saying, that so much of potential, but how do you kind of recognize that? How do you kind of look at it? Do you strongly believe that everybody can do something better? Or how is that entire thing comes up? For example, at times when you work with people, maybe at sometimes you find it extremely difficult to get the job done through someone. You say that's really hard. I times feel that, no, I don't know really is getting what you're saying. You might get to a scenario of saying that I'm going to give up. But how do you have that kind of a hope and say that everybody in this world can want to win and they can do?
Yeah, good point. I think, one of the important things that all of us who are sitting here must understand and realize is that each one of us is special. Okay? Each one of us is special. And you must respect that. That, you're special, you're special, you're special, you're special, you're special, you're special. Each of us has our own, what makes us special. And we must respect that. 2, there are no two people in the world who are exactly alike. So people are not the same. Everybody has certain strengths. If you can focus on the strengths of the other person and not on the weakness of the other person, then you can start working together. So, if you look at this hand of yours, there are 5 fingers. Not all 5 fingers are the same. You have a lovely strong thumb, you have a very weak little finger. But what this little finger can do, this thumb can't do. What this thumb can do, this little finger can't do. But if everything comes together, then this becomes, very, very powerful. So it's important for us to acknowledge that, yes, I'm different, you're different, you have your strengths, I have my strengths. Let's all work together with the strengths that we have. Let's bring those strengths into place. Okay? And then you can change your world. That's something which is different.
Does it matter when people come from a different culture, while engaging them, how does this culture essentially help you, or does it really add value to it?
I'm a great Dr. Rajkumar fan. Okay? Do you guys remember that famous song of Dr. Rajkumar? Puttidare Kannada, right?
Yeah.
So I seriously believe that we've got everything that it takes here. Okay? I worked extensively across the country. I worked in Hyderabad, I worked in Bangalore, I worked in Chennai, I worked in Kochi, I worked in Ahmedabad, Pune, Jaipur, Lucknow, Delhi. So 9-10 cities. There is an innate aspect of the city which is different from city to city to city. Okay? People from Delhi are a little in your face. People from Bombay are a little more, let's get on with it. People from Chennai are a little more traditional. Now, these are the conventional thinking that we have. I have not really seen any great difference amongst the various cultures in the different parts of the country. Because everybody in the country today is completely absorbed with this thought that we've got an opportunity, let's not give up this opportunity. So I don't really find, there is language differences and so many other, but these are all, very superficial differences. People in Delhi are a little fair, we in the south are not so fair. That's okay. These are small stuff. We speak English in a particular way, they speak English in another way. That's all right. These are the minor stuff. But I think deep down everywhere, I find that there aren't really any great cultural differences amongst people. Okay? We're all the same ambition. We've got the same. Why here? We work extensively in Nepal, we work in Bangladesh, we work in Sri Lanka, we work in Dubai, we work across the world. And it's just the same. The language is different, little cultural differences are there.
So when you actually get to the core, you're saying everybody remains the same.
Absolutely.
So there's absolutely not a significant difference at all.
Not at all.
How do you define a good workplace and a good workplace culture?
I think, this is something that my boss told me when I started working in Crompton Greaves way back in 1983. Whole waking day at work. Please make it fun, yeah. Have fun while you're working. Enjoy the work. Okay? If you don't make it fun, if you don't enjoy the work that you do, and you have to make it fun. If each of us makes the workplace fun, then the workplace is fun. If you have fun, then the workplace is fun. I mean, workplace fun is not, doing one fun Friday or dress as you like it day. All that is. I mean, let me tell you, all of that is superficial stuff. What if you were to make every day, hear me out. Why wait only for a Friday to make it a fun Friday? Why can't Monday be fun? Why can't Tuesday be fun? Why can't Wednesday be fun? I'll tell you something that we used to do. When I used to run the ad agency, and we had 8 offices across the country. We used to appoint somebody called a chief fun officer every day. And that's anybody, so whose birthday is it today? Your birthday, great, so you're the fun officer today, like that, some stuff like that. And you come up and do something fun today. Make work fun, why should it be boring? Why should it be? See, work is stressful, right? Clients are stressful, work has to get done, there's some deadline. I want all of you to understand the difference between two things. What you do and how you do it. What you do is stressful. Why? Because there's a client, there's a deadline, there's some project that needs to go live, there's something that is not happening, there's some bug somewhere. What you do is stressful. Any work that you do, what you do can be stressful. Okay? The guy who gave me coffee today, right? Very stressful, whether this Seshu will like that bloody coffee, he will not like that coffee. What is this rubbish coffee? These guys have told me it's the best coffee in the world and I'm getting some horrible coffee. So he poor fellow is under stress already. He's saying, oh God, why are these guys overselling my coffee? It's just an ordinary coffee here. It's very stressful. Supposing he takes one sip and he says, puts it down. Problem. So what you do is always stressful in life. Always remember this. Okay? You're coming to work today, right? Today morning, whole day was busy with some meetings. And therefore, I got into this huge thinking. Should I wear this suit? Should I wear a dark suit? Should I wear a light suit? Should I wear a suit at all? Should I wear a coat? Should I not wear a coat? Should I wear a tie? Should I not wear a tie? If tie, which tie? So much of stress. What you do is always stressful. Remember this. Okay? How you do it should be fun. Okay? What you do is stressful, no doubt about that. There's a client, there's some demand, somebody is not turned up for work, all of that is stress.
Fun Friday could be stressful, but we can make it fun.
Yeah, make it fun. Why fun Friday? Why not fun Monday? Okay? I'll tell you some of the crazy things I've done in my life. On a Monday morning, everybody is very, very busy. Deadline, this, meeting, cheating, all that. So one Monday in one of our offices in Chennai, and people were, stress levels were so high, people were not talking to each other and all that. So I told guys, I'm sorry, but I'm coming there on Monday and you all have to meet me at 10:30 at so-and-so place. So they said, now what? We've got so much of work, why should we do all that rubbish? So when they came at 10:30, I took them bowling. They said, are you mad? There's a client, there's a meeting, there's this, there's that. I said, okay, put off your phone, let's go bowling, come on. 1 hour of bowling, have fun and come back to the office and then get down to work. And that was the most productive day that they had in a long time. So the point is, how you do stuff is more important than what you do. Please always remember this. How you do it, have fun. Make it engaging. Respect each other, trust each other, and you can get things going.
Do you think what mattered you back then when you started your career and maybe somewhere in the 50s, is it remains the same, or what mattered you then and today it's changed?
100%.
Why do you think, and what is this typical changes?
I could, when we started way back in 1980s, I never imagined technology would be so important in life. Technology has now become so critical, so important in our life. I never imagined that. Okay, that's a big change that has happened. Okay, I never imagined that life would become so easy. Okay, today, 1980 to 2020, life has become so easy. In 1980, if I wanted to eat out, I had to plan for 2 weeks.
I don't know really, because
Okay. Now you want to eat out, just call Zomato or Swiggy, and in the next 15-20 minutes you can get dosa from Veena stores, you can get vada from CTR, you can get anything you want. Life has become so much easier now, than it was at that point of time. So technology, life has become easy, life space has changed a lot.
Do you think the number of choices what we have in life makes it more complicated, more restless, like the way what you mentioned today, right? The fact that you have too many different ways we can dress, that itself put you on a stress. Imagine if you were to go back and let us say 50 years before, you have only one or two options. You don't have to really stress yourself in terms of doing it. Focus on something else, right? So do you think that was better, or do you think this is better? Or what is that you think we should do to make sure that we don't get into the stress?
As I said, focus on the how. Okay? So I just did a simple poll with my daughter, my son-in-law, and my wife, saying, just need your help. What do you think I should be wearing today? Because I had, first meeting was with the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. My second meetings was with Priyank Kharge and M.P. Patil. And then there was a launch that I was a guest at, and now I'm here. So my daughter said, wear shorts and go. Daughter, she's entitled to that kind of stuff. So we had a lot of fun early in the morning. And then I said, it's rubbish, I'm not going to talk to you people. I just went and picked up whatever I liked. I think, the focus is far too much on the what. If we get the focus back on the how, life will become very simple. Let's focus on the how. Don't worry about the what. What will keep changing. So what has changed in my life? Technology has changed, right? What has changed in my life? Traffic has changed. What has changed in my life? The quality of these clothes has changed, right? How do I look at life? Has not changed.
It remains as is.
It's absolutely the same. I do serious things, but I don't take life seriously.